Hey guys, welcome back to another episode of POVincent here on the Review of the Nerds. For those of you who are familiar with the Review of the Nerds channel, you're probably wondering, why am I looking at a still image of Vincent and not video? Well, there's something wrong with my video editing software, so this is all I can really do, and Mike is too busy with work to help out. But I really want to get this Voltron review out, so let's dig in. A group of 5 space cadets that come together to form a very unlikely team learn of an invasion from the Galra Empire led by Emperor Zarkon. They're whisked away to another planet and meet the magical Princess Allura, who asks them to become the Voltron Paladins, a team of 5 warriors that must pilot the 5 giant robot lions that combine into Voltron, the most powerful warrior in the universe. So this reboot of the series has a lot, I mean a lot of differences from the original. For instance, in the original series, the 5 members of the Voltron Force already knew each other and were a pretty good team. In this one, a lot of the characters are meeting for the very first time, and this leads to a lot of good moments in the series because they have to build their team skills. Some of these times it can be funny moments, and other times it can be touching moments, but overall it's a really new aesthetic that I like. Another big difference is, unlike in the original series, humanity has not traveled outside of our own solar system yet. This means that for our space cadets, this is the first encounter with an alien race. A huge difference from the original series. Something that really bothers me in this version is certain background information. For instance, in this version, planet Eris is now planet Altea, and they state that 10,000 years ago, Zarkon attacked the planet in order to try to get Voltron, which is perceived as being the most powerful weapon in the universe. And that he pretty much devastated the entire planet, killing all the inhabitants except for Princess Allura and Karan, who were put into cryogenic stasis. But after they come out of that, and the lions are rediscovered, Zarkon is back after it again to get Voltron, because Voltron is still the most powerful weapon. But how? It's been 10,000 years. How has Zarkon's weaponry not advanced, like, literally millennia past what Voltron can do? Admittedly, they say this version of Voltron has a magical aspect to it that can't be explained, but still, you would think Zarkon's weapons would wipe the floor with it. But they can't. It's confusing. Something that I think is a great improvement over the old series is that, well, they're not always just defending planet Altea. Yeah, that's right. Most of this first season is in outer space. They're checking out various different planets, locations, and that leads to some really great visuals. And you gotta give them credit. They're not just waiting for Zarkon to come at them. They're taking the fight to him. It's very proactive. I gotta give them credit. Great idea. Let's start off the character section with Shiro. Shiro is the pilot of the Black Line and therefore the leader of the team. If you're an old school hardcore Voltron fan, this might piss you off, saying in the original series, Keith was the leader of the team. Shiro could be said is this show's equivalent of Sven, considering in the Japanese version of Voltron, Sven's name was Shirogami, but technically that'd be an unfair statement, seeing as they're very different characters. Shiro is very patient and wise, a great leader of the team. He even puts up with some of the team's antics at times. And in other times, he's actually just as lost or confused as the other members of the team when it comes to things like how to form Voltron or how to react to some of the new alien life and customs that they're trying to get used to. He also has some background with partial amnesia due to his period of captivity with the Galra Empire, including where the hell this cybernetic arm came from. Next up we have Keith, who, like I said earlier, was the team leader in the original series. In this one, he is the pilot of the Red Line, which represents fire, and makes sense why it represents him. Keith is the fighter of the team. He's always ready to throw down, never backs down from a fight, even though there's probably times he should hold back. Unfortunately for Keith, he really doesn't get any character development in this first season, which is a shame compared to some of the other characters. However, his combat scenes are very enjoyable, as are many of the other combat scenes in this first season. So he's not a horrible character, it's just that he doesn't get as much as some of the other ones. Next, we're on to Lance. Lance considers himself to be the best pilot at the Space Cadet Academy, and quite the ladies' man. when in actuality he isn't. Don't get me wrong, he is a very good pilot, but he is not the best. He's also not a ladies' man. Lance tends to show off a lot and try to act more cool and awesome than he really is. He also lacks character development compared to some of the other ones, but he doesn't need it as much. He is the comic relief member of the group and can be very funny. And considering how often he tries to act awesome and cool, it shows that he has a lot of insecurities. So without getting as much development as the other characters, you can already tell a lot about him, and which is pretty cool. Now we're on to Pidge. Pidge is the pilot of the Green Lion, the team's computer tech, and the youngest member of the team. He has probably the biggest opening motivation amongst all the other team members, except for maybe Shiro. We learn that Pidge's father and brother were lost on an exploratory mission in which Shiro was the pilot of their ship. This instantly creates a connection between the two characters. However, Pidge is always trying to find where his father and brother are. This can distract him from his duties as a member of the team. A cool thing to mention here is, and I don't want to give it away because I don't want to spoil it, but there is a twist with Pidge about midway through the first season. And frankly, I think it's kind of cool and makes sense. And here we have Hunk, the big man of the team. Hunk is the pilot of the Yellow Line and the team's mechanic. He's the hungry guy, always looking for the next meal. He is also the most reluctant member of the team, as where everyone else is ready for danger and adventure, Hunk is the first one who wants to turn back, first one to urge people to forget about it. Thankfully, Hunk has a big change around. He meets a race of aliens that have been under Zarkon's rule for so long they have no concept of what freedom is. Seeing this really changes him dramatically. He's ready to take on Zarkon and free any other race of aliens in the universe that have been under Zarkon's boot. Princess Allura, of course, makes it back in this series, and old school Voltron fans will know that she replaced Sven as pilot of the Blue Lion after he was injured in combat, and remained the pilot for the rest of the series. However, in this one, she doesn't. She doesn't replace any of the pilots. Nobody. And people are probably going to find that disappointing that she's made a member of the team. However, I think it's important to note that they carried over her best character traits over from the original series. Yes, she's a princess. Yes, she's very young and can be vulnerable at times due to that. However, she is undoubtedly brave, determined, and just a really great female character. She will not stop until they are able to use the power of Voltron to stop Zarkon and his tyranny, not only to free the people of the universe that he's enslaved, but to avenge her fallen people, the Alteans, that he wiped out. Not a pilot, but still a great character. And finally, we come to Karan, the last member of the Heroes. Karan really bugged me at first. In the original series, he was very, mature and could be very stern at times, being the princess's advisor. In this one, he starts out ridiculously goofy and slapstick. And don't get me wrong, I probably wouldn't have minded that kind of character being in the show. However, we already have characters that fill the spot for, comedic relief and all that. And he was just too goofy to be somebody that would work for royalty. Thankfully, as the season went on, he kind of mellowed out a little bit and stopped being as ridiculously goofy. And just kind of served a role as he should, advisor to Princess Allura, and in a way, teacher and historian to the Voltron Paladins so they could better understand where they are, their surroundings, and what to do next. Thank God they changed him, because if not, he was the worst character. So now we move on to the Roe Beasts, the big muscle of Emperor Zarkon's army. Well, okay, they don't call them Roe Beasts in this series, but they don't call them anything, so I'm going to keep calling them Roe Beasts. And in this latest installment of the Voltron franchise, we get a grand total of 2. Only 2 Roe Beasts in an 11-episode season. Oh, come on, people. Voltron battling giant monsters and robots is a huge part of what makes Voltron awesome. Now, don't get me wrong, I'm not one of those bloodthirsty action maniacs that thinks Voltron needs to be doing this every episode. There are some episodes that are perfectly fine without it. They work without a big battle like that. But out of 11 episodes, and considering the way they structure the stories, not only individually but over a seasonal arc, frankly, two more road beast battles would have satisfied me just fine. And I really don't think I'm asking for much here. Now we're on to Hagar. And there's nothing really to say here. She's Azarkon's right hand witch. She does magic. She creates a couple of monsters. That's that's really it. There's yeah. Huh. And now on to the top big baddie himself, Emperor Zarkon. In the original series, Zarkon, he was ugly, you could call him vicious, but he really didn't do anything. In this series, for the most part, yeah, Zarkon doesn't do a lot except for send his forces out to destroy or capture the Voltron Paladins and get Voltron for himself. So, for a while, he was really not much different than the original Zarkon. And then things change. I'm not going to give it away, but this Zarkon in a straight up fight would whoop the shit out of the original Zarkon. He's a fucking army of one. If you are caught in a dark alley with this guy, well, you'd probably question what the hell is Zarkon doing in an alleyway, but anyway, you just wouldn't want to fucking face him. He is a total badass. And I'm not going to give away my theory, but they strongly indicate in this series that Zarkon has a deep connection to Voltron itself. The animation in this series is top notch. They use a combination of 3D and 2D. 3D for ships and monsters and stuff like that, and 2D for all the character designs. And I gotta say, for the characters, they all look great. They really did a good job here. It definitely has that anime art style, and if you're an old school Voltron fan, you'll feel right at home watching this. As for the music's not bad, but it doesn't always match up. Where it hurts the most is in the opening title sequence. The opening title sequence has a lot of explosive imagery coming right out at you, and it's really cool. But the soft music that they play over it just doesn't match it. It doesn't really get you pumped when the show first starts. So I wanted to save this part for towards the end because I'm sure a lot of you are wondering, hey Vincent, what do you think of the new line designs? Well guys, they look great. They definitely look more technologically advanced than the previous ones, more realistically robotic. I especially like the glue blowing panels that you can see on various parts of them. It gives them that kind of sci-fi Star Trek look. You know what I mean? How in the Enterprise they had the glowing parts on themselves. And what do I think of Voltron himself? My man's looking good, yeah! Nah, the new Voltron looks fantastic. One of the things I really liked, unlike the original Voltron design, it doesn't have that boxy, square-looking body part thing going on, like in the torso, so it looks a lot more natural and flexible, something to actually move around. A difference between this one and the old one that is notable is unlike in the original Voltron where all the weapons, its mass library of weapons were automatically available, this Voltron is not the same. Weapons are revealed by the lines themselves as time goes on, and that is correlated to character development, which I think is a nice touch. One of the things that makes this new version of Voltron really great is that they give a much deeper and richer mythology. They don't give everything away, but there's definitely a lot of indications of things left to be learned and discovered. But this also leads to a problem. In the first season, they only have 11 episodes, and I think it would have benefited from being much longer, somewhere around 20 to 25 episodes. Now, I understand they want to leave some stuff for a second season, and I'm totally okay with that. Leave us wanting to learn more so we come back and see it. But I'm still left unsatisfied at the end of this season. But at its core, this series is about its characters, and you really do grow to care about them. You care about Shiro. You care about his memory loss. You care about Pidge and finding his family. You care about Lance and trying to prove himself. You care about Keith and trying to do the right thing and fight these bad guys. You care about Hunk becoming braver and a hero. And you care about Princess Allura trying to be the noble person that she is. So for this first season of Voltron Legendary Defender, I'll say it's pretty good. It could be better, but it's still pretty good, and I'd recommend you go check it out. Well, hey guys, hope you enjoyed my review of Voltron Legendary Defender. Once again, sorry for the lack of actual video like in my other episodes. I hope you enjoyed it nonetheless. Please tell me what you're thinking down in the comments. Give me a like and subscribe to the Review of the Nerds channel. And until next time, I'll catch you later. I fucking love giant robots. Love them.